I joined the chairman of the Labour Party to bring the goodwill of the working people of Nigeria to this all-important two-day interactive session with the Labour Party. We are highly delighted to be part of this consultation and also interaction, which is all aimed at building a Labour Party that will have the clear philosophy, the clear understanding, and the values that all of us share as workers, as citizens, and importantly, as working class. Let me remind us that the decision for unions to register the Labour Party started as far back as 1946 under Labour leader number 1 in name and substance, Michael Imodu of blessed memory. There was a clear decision then for Labour to align with NCNC and thereafter form a Labour Party. All of us could remember that in 1945, British general election, which brought to power in the UK the first all-Labour Party structures, is something that all of us can still celebrate. Comrades, let me on your behalf warmly welcome the candidate, presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. And all of us, the working class and the downtrodden, that the decision for trade unions in Nigeria to register the Labour Party started in 1946 under the leadership of Labour leader number 1, Michael Imodu of blessed memory. 2 decisions were taken at that very important organ meeting. 1 is to align with NCNC as a party, and 2, work towards the formation of Labour Party. And that followed the success of Labour Party in Britain in 1945, where Labour formed government. And therefore, it is in this vein that all of us work together, including our founding fathers, to then register the Party for Social Democracy, which in 2003, the name was changed to Labour Party, the party that all of us are celebrating today. This history is very, very important because it will awaken our consciousness and align with the consciousness of our founding fathers. Because history, they said, is the best form of decision-making process that can make us very active. Labour Party was formed clearly with this philosophy of promoting people-centered agenda in democracy. It's not about self, it's not about few, but it's about the whole people. And that is why when the Labour Party was formed, we thought of what would be the logo of the Labour Party. And we all agree that it should be people-centered. That's why you have Papa, Mama, and Pekin as the logo of the Labour Party. Is the only party in Nigeria that have a people-centered agenda that will promote people above everything. The philosophy and value and principle are anchored first on fairness, justice, respect for the rule of law, people's freedom, and shared prosperity that will prosper development. These are very important, comrades, because every democracy must actually promote people's freedom, including defending rights and the rights of citizens, including the right of workers. So as we go into this whole journey of promoting Labour Party and promoting all our candidates, this centrality of the philosophy of the party must continue to resonate across boards, across all structures, because that is why Labour Party is different and distinct from all other political parties. I am convinced that with this agenda, which Labour Party will promote, we'll be able to do something different. I agree with the earlier speakers that the problem of Nigeria is not about resources. We are so blessed, enormously blessed, with human and material resources. In fact, it's been said that there is no country in the world that is as so blessed as Nigeria. What is then the problem? The problem is clearly leadership. From the First Republic to where we are today, the problem is actually leadership. When you look at the arid land from the north to the south, you will be amazed of how God has blessed us. When you look at the human resource across the continents of the world, Nigerians are making wave. They are the best in every sector. In fact, 5 weeks ago, I was in Philadelphia, and I had to branch to Alabama to visit the University of Alabama. I was told that 70% of the wealth of Alabama was actually aligned to the university. And I went there to see a professor, a Nigerian. He said the best 10 are actually Nigerians. So what is going wrong with us is about harnessing our resources, both human and material, to be able to add value and make Nigerian citizens better. It will actually bug all of us that Nigeria, despite being the sixth largest oil producer in the world, that we cannot refine petroleum products for more than 3 decades. What do? We export crude oil, and half of it even stolen. And in turn, we go back to buy refined product. And we don't complain that things are not working and there is question about subsidy. That is one question that Labour can be able to attend to. Labour Party will address that issue. And there are many avenues to address that issue. It is not rocket science, comrades, to fix the problem. We have the solution. We have commission studies. It's possible. If we have people that are refining illegally, we can organize them into clusters. And continue to refine. Let us get the oil producing states into the agenda. It is possibility. We have done a study. It's 18 months to build a modular refinery. Today, one of the commodities that is out of reach of every home, every business, especially small and medium-sized enterprises, is diesel. I heard our friend Obasanjo complaining that his business is going down because he cannot afford diesel. This is the same problem. We say fix it. And you can see, out of office, people are now lamenting. It's easy. The easiest commodity to refine is actually diesel. And once you fix the modular refineries, in every oil-producing community, let us bring these youths, fix our refineries. They will be able to actually start with diesel. And therefore, let us stop importation of diesel. There is no reason for diesel to be sold between 850 and 900 naira in Nigeria per liter. No reason. And I make the point, we are the only oil-producing country in the world that imports 100% of our refined products. Why? Because people benefit. In fact, they told us that more than a quarter of the petroleum product is also stolen. How can it be stolen? It means connivance. It means there is a cabal. And this must be broken. This is the whole mark of our argument. Comrades, as our candidate have said, we cannot continue to be a consumer nation. Manufacturing, returning to manufacturing and production economy will certainly address the issue of poverty in Nigeria. It can also address the issue of job creation. There is nowhere in the world where we can say only one sector, either the private sector, can provide all the employment opportunities. No, it is about a wrong policy. I was in South Africa 5 days ago also, and I visited the University of Johannesburg. Every policy about that country is from the university. And I tell you that every vehicle used in South Africa is not only assembled, it's produced in South Africa. Today, the entire Gulf manufactured in the world is no longer in Germany. It's being produced in South Africa. Why? There is a favorable environment. And the leaders are very thoughtful in attracting those production lines and also for people to be gainfully employed. That is what we are bringing to the table as a new argument that we can do it and we have the resources to do it. Comrades, our youths are not lazy. Our youths are not lazy. I say so. Our youths are the best. They only need empowerment and support. Because everywhere around the world, people celebrate the ingenuity of Nigerian youths. When you hear about Yahoo Yahoo, it's not a lazy man that can also go into Yahoo Yahoo. It's people that are intelligent. And therefore, let us harness the resources of our youths by organizing them and by giving them the necessary support that they can be able to create wealth in our country. That is what Labour Party will be doing. Comrades, the issue of accountability and respect for the rule of law and addressing the issue of corruption headlong is something that we must all promote. Nigeria is not a poor country, it's only that the resources are being stolen. And it's an organized crime against all of us. Sometimes people argue that civil servants are also corrupt. But if the head is rotten, there is no way the body can also be rotten. As organized labor, we have supported the fight against corruption holistically. In fact, I remember as far back as 2005, the first major rally by NLC under my leadership was the fight against corruption. But what do we see? The argument is, have we been able to fight corruption? It's obviously no. If one person will steal 109 billion and compromise IPs, we cannot be coming here to say IPs have succeeded. That's the reality, comrade. And therefore, we will also work around very assiduously to addressing these issues. And lastly, you cannot be able to drive economy without also fixing the critical infrastructure. Importantly is the issue of power. For many years, we have been trying to fix power, but that have eluded us. Not that it's not possible. It's possible to fix it. And importantly, and close to our mind, is also how we can free our local governments, free the judiciary, free the legislature, especially state our assembly, from the grip of few strong politicians. Their resources must go to them. And therefore, we'll continue to promote the issue of autonomy for those structures to work effectively to address the challenge of insecurity and all issues. Comrades, these are very clear issues that we need a structure that can be able to address it. And I make the point that protest and strike alone cannot fix Nigeria. Workers, as Imodu said, must be active towards selecting leaders that they think have the criteria, the quality, the wherewithal, the energy, the intellectual ability to be able to provide leadership. And I've argued severally about how leadership can be able to also turn around situation. There are three major variables that a leader must possess, particularly in developing countries like Nigeria. In other climes, a different paradigm because they have strong institutions. The fact is that we are not having strong institutions because the institutions are not independent and they are not strong like we have in the US. In the US, you can bring anybody because the institutions are strong and therefore no president can actually upturn those institutions. But in our own case, we need leaders that can build strong institutions. Institutions that can stand the test of time. And once we have that in place, things will actually fall in line. And for such a leader, first, he must have the energy. He must have the energy. Leadership is about energy. You must have the intellectual ability. And lastly, you must also be tested and trusted. That there is no any alibi hanging on your neck that you have stolen people's money to assist or help yourself. Comrades, this is what can make the difference. Because whether we like it or not, politics have become business in Nigeria. I've seen people selling their property in order to go into politics. And the moment they go inside, you are sure that they will recover their investment even with profit. That is not the type of politics Labour Party will be preaching. And that is why we said clearly that people must meet our criteria before we support them, and we'll be able to also make sure that all our structures across the length and breadth of this country must be conscientized. So one issue that we must take very serious is actually conscientizing our members and also Nigerians. Because Nigeria is so much divided along many primordial interests and many interests that are self-centered that we need to address. No country in the world can prosper and work in unity if the country is so divided. So one of the responsibilities of Labour Party is to unite Nigerians along a common goal of development and prosperity. So once again, comrades, I know that this is just a welcome message, but it's to remind us where we're coming from. It's to remind us of the enormous task of what we need to do and to promote candidates of the Labour Party, but also go to the field. Particularly our youth, I'm so happy that the youth have aligned themselves with the structures and the struggle of the working class with their parents, because we are actually parents to the students and the youths. And I'm happy that they are now realizing that agonizing alone without organizing cannot take us anywhere. So let us organize at all levels. Let us send the message at all levels. And I assure you that as Britain did it in 1945, where all the structures were actually won by the Labour Party, and recently, because my General Secretary of the International Trade Union Confederation is from Australia. Recently, Australia also did the same. So I will give you the history in the business session of how that is done, what perspectives we are bringing to the table, and what structures we need to activate. Not that we don't have structures, we have structures. Human beings are the structures. It's just to activate the structures and put them to use. It's just like a weapon. It's just like a weapon in the military cycle. You service them when the need arises. So the need have arisen for all the structures of the political commission of both TUC and NLC to be activated in all the 774 local governments. Importantly, also the structures of all our affiliates, both TUC and NLC, membership put together is 12 million. And I will share with you in the business session what also brought in Biden. Because you remembered a month ago, I was in Philadelphia also when we had the Congress of American Federation of Labor, and President Biden was there live and direct. And he reiterated that he's not ashamed to be called the president of the working people of America, because he said the workers and the middle class build America. And I will share with you what happened in Atlanta when we did the primaries between Ben Sanders and the current President Biden by the American Federation of Labor. And I was there as a guest speaker, and I saw democracy in action, and I saw workers participating actively. In the business session, we'll share all of that, and I'm sure we are going to have a very good platform and a very good foundation to offer leadership, and leadership that will address the numerous challenges of the working class in Nigeria. Once again, solidarity forever. I wish you all the best. Thank you.